relationship with my manager, I don't feel like there's anything I couldn't go to him and ask. There obviously is a level of you need to understand your place and where you're coming from before you ask questions, and so you should be kind of thinking about them before you ask them. But if you really have a serious question that needs to be answered, I have never felt an issue with going to my manager and talking to him about it. And if for some reason I know that the SVP of HR is constantly wants to know what's going on and wants to be helpful, and I would never feel like there was an issue with going to him either. So I feel like I have two outlets here to go with if I am having a true issue or I do have a true question about something. And I've found in the past that if I do have a question and I hold it in for too long, and eventually kind of it comes to a head, I've realized that it's much better to ask those questions early and to go to your manager early before true issues come out of them.
My boss is extremely fair. I would say I'd rank Rod in the top 2 best bosses I've ever had, and I've had a lot of bosses. He will actually listen and try to fix things, and I feel comfortable going to him. That's not always been the case in the past. I've always felt like, I gotta watch what I say, but I actually feel like I can go to Rod and say, hey, I have this issue or I have this problem, and he'll listen to me and he'll try to address it. If anything, he's actually trying to fight for the better for me if there is an issue. He'll go to bat for his people, which is rare. He's not all about himself. He actually wants to truly, genuinely take care of his people, which is very refreshing.
Yeah, when I'm at Snag a Job, I definitely feel like I can be myself. Not only do I feel like I can come in wearing what I feel like wearing that day, which definitely helps steer and mold. I guess what you wear kind of defines you. So I definitely feel like when I come here, I can kind of wear what I want. I definitely feel like I can be myself around others. Of course, there are moments where you have to be on, moments where you have to be off. But in general, I do feel like this is more of a very relaxed atmosphere, more so than any other place I've worked. And I do feel comfortable being myself here.
I feel most definitely I am able to be myself at Snag a Job because it's a very leisure, very relaxing environment. So you can wear, you can wear anything just about, but you can you can come to work casual. You can come to work any way that makes you feel positive. To work in the environment. I also feel I can be myself because we have a slide, so you have to dress to be prepared to slide. Not only that, I work with a great bunch of people that have great senses of humor and respect for all aspects of diversity, and I feel like it's cultivated. Our culture is cultivated in such a way that we're able to laugh and joke, but yet collaboratively work together to get the job done.
I think one reason that we're a successful company is just the mutual respect that people hold for each other. It all comes down to our core values. We're accountable for our actions, we're passionate, and we're collaborative. And I think that I think we truly do embody the golden rule. You don't see people who will skirt responsibilities or will lay something on you at like 4:30 on a Friday because they don't want to be treated that way. They certainly do treat you the same way that they would expect another snagger to treat them. And I could cite countless examples of it, but it happens, every single day. And when somebody sends me a request or something, I want to deliver it the same way I would expect it to be delivered to me because it becomes contagious. And sooner or later, we're all over delivering, making everyone happy, making our customers happy, and growing as a business.
Or if I'm thinking through something of how I'm going to approach something or answer a question or deal with a situation at work, I really do fall back on, okay, so as a parent, how would I advise my children? How would I set that example for my children? It's really the same thing because you really want to be your best self at work, just like you want to be your best self as you are in your other roles, whether it's a family role or a parent role or a friend. And so, to apply that golden rule is exceptionally important here at Snag a Job because you see it's modeled for all of us with how the executives treat each other, with how the senior leadership treats each other, and how me specifically and other people as managers treat them, and how mine treats me. And it's modeled. It's beautifully modeled, and that makes you want to emulate it, but it also makes you feel like you're in the right place for you, because everybody deserves respect. Everybody wants to be heard. And when you satisfy those base, I guess you would call them base needs of humans, when you get that satisfaction at work, you're a better person for it, and you want other people to feel that way as well.
Generally, when I talk to my family and friends about Snagajob, I obviously talk about how I got involved with Snagajob through a former job that I had, and they asked me kind of what attracted me to Snagajob. A lot of it centered around, hey, you know what, I love giving back to community, and Snagajob gives me the opportunity to do that, anytime that I want to. I just got to work with my manager, so I get involved in a lot of different extracurricular activities, from organizations around Richmond like Comfort Zone Camp to CHAT to the American Heart Association, those types of things. A lot of it centers around the culture. It's a fun place to work. They always ask me about the Office Olympics, which just passed, as chair soccer and the staring contest and hot dog eating contest. Those are great things. We try and do things every month, so we talk about what stuff we do, whether it's the concert series over at Innsbruck that we help sponsor, whether it's the Super Bowl party that we have, or whatever it is. It always comes back to culture. But I also talk a lot about the passion that the people have here at Snagajob for what we do and our mission statement, putting people in the right fit positions so that they can maximize their potential and lead more fulfilling lives. It's something that resonates really well with me, and something that I really am passionate about, and the people at Snagajob are extremely passionate about that. We couldn't be in the position we are today without the type of people that we have within the organization and the amount of work they put in. So it's great, working with those people on a daily basis. It's all about the people, and I tell them that every day. You can't have a great place to work without great people behind that doing it on a daily basis.
Okay, when I'm talking about Snagajob to my friends and family, I usually describe the culture, because they're more interested in hearing about the slide and the Office Olympics and all the fun that we have here than they are in specifically what I'm working on. And it usually gets a very excited response. They can barely believe things like Office Olympics and human curling and the slide that we actually ride down to the first floor and things like that. They really can't believe the beer taps. I have a picture on my phone just to prove it.
So when I'm normally talking to friends and family about Snagajob, well, first of all, if they're from Richmond, they've probably heard about Snagajob, and they probably know our sterling reputation. So I generally try not to brag too much, because I don't want people to feel bad about their current situation. But I love talking to my friends and family about it, because we have such a unique environment, especially for Richmond. There's nothing like it. It's such a warm, friendly, open environment. The facilities are so great to work in. We have perks that no one else has. And I just try not to brag too much, but it is a wonderful place to work, and just having friends that you can come to work with is fantastic. It makes the days go by really fast, and the facilities are fantastic. We just love our new digs.
Snagajob does a great job of making you feel like we're all in this together. From when you have a baby, they'll send you onesies for your Snaglet for the little baby, or if something's going on with your family, they're really good about sending you things like flowers or anything to encourage your family for going through a difficult time. What I love best is the jerseys that we get. They put your Snagger number on there, and you get to wear it very proud. And I think that it's one of those great things about our culture is that we make everyone feel like they're really a family, and that we encourage people to truly come in here and work hard, play hard.
Snagajob presents lots of opportunities to bond with our coworkers throughout the year. Our recent one was the company picnic, which I loved because I got to sit in the batting cages with my fellow snaggers and, try to hit softballs out of the park and then laugh at one another while we tried to golf, and the more talented among us taught each of the other ones of us how to swing a golf club. So even when we're out at the company picnic, we're collaborating and living our values. Also, I got to use the moon bounce. It was pretty sweet.